So let's start the meeting.
Kind of down.
Okay, so try this one.
So welcome, everybody. We value people's input at our meetings and we want to show them respect, so please refrain from interrupting the speaker or getting up and walking away from the table when they are speaking. Hold your comments until they are done and then raise your hand to be called on. Please join me in eliminating the crosstalk during meetings. Thank you. My mouth is so dry I can hardly make any.
Get some water,
Well, there's
honey.
water right here.
Yes. Isn't it weird how the M's kind of come
I know,
out?
I was looking at that.
It's like it's a capital and a
I
small.
was trying to enunciate that weird, but okay. So, let us start the meeting. Carol, would you like to, are you ready to go over my buddy?
Well, I sent the minutes to everyone, and I can't remember if those minutes had one
I have a
tiny
copy.
correction or none.
I have a copy if anybody needs to see them.
I have a copy in, I read the
But
trustee
I
binder.
scanned
Someone actually wants to
them.
see
That
them.
binder is really great.
It's
Thank you, Dee
invaluable.
Dee.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I think there was one small correction, but at the moment I can't remember what it was.
The number of people we
I
registered
don't think
to
I'm
vote.
on that.
Thank you.
Ah,
That's exactly
that's
right.
correct, yeah, because I only scan, when we do voter registration, I only
changed
scan
it
the
and tell me
Democratic
what
ones,
the
because
new
those are
one
the
was.
only ones that we could potentially get any money for.
Right.
So I couldn't remember how many we had total, so
Well,
I
I
had
had
on the
that.
computer.
They
we
change it
went
every
through
day.
it.
But it should have gone into the minutes wherever I read, but I didn't
But the
bring my
problem
paper.
is.
Has it been
I
corrected?
thought it was 20. I told Carol
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was
I did,
20.
it was, and then I had it broken down, is what I did, but it was 20.
They weren't broken down in the
Total?
minutes, so.
Should we do that? Well, we don't have to do that, who
No.
cares?
Well, for the
No,
record,
because I have
just put the total. You just put the total
Thirty.
amount.
Lynn told me 30, I put 30 in.
No,
there.
I told you
It was
20.
You did?
I'm sorry if
Am
I,
I totally dyslexic or what?
You
oh
are.
no, maybe I had a typo.
No, you're,
It was
I think
20.
it's okay. I'm gonna say that I
Oh,
think it's
from
all
the-
right.
It's 20, I'm sorry, Carol.
It's
If
okay.
I told you,
I'm just gonna change it to 20 right here.
right.
that's it.
So
Do
does
it.
If I-
anybody have a problem
If you got
with
30
that?
from me, it was a typo.
Okay.
It was 20.
Okay, there.
The glasses are steaming. Good thing.
Well, at least it won't be cold.
Can we
I
approve the
can't decide
minutes?
if I'm cold or hot. It's
So I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes as written.
So
then.
moved.
Second, anybody? Yes, okay. so
All in favor?
Thank you very
Aye.
much. Thank you very much. So the next thing is the treasurer's report, which probably hasn't changed much.
No, at the meeting I collected $80, but we've got like 3 or 4 subsequent
How much do we,
checks since
do we
then.
know how much we got in? Right.
We got 80 at the meeting.
But then we got
Oh.
Peggy's check for 20.
I haven't. I didn't even open them.
It's quite a bit, it's quite a bit. I mean, it's like 5, 6, or
Renew
7.
my membership, yeah.
And I'm never, I'm like 15, isn't it?
Cindy's is there.
And Phil's 10.
So it's probably another $100 at least.
Good.
That's my
Another
estimate.
100? I don't think it's another 100. Okay, we got 10 here,
We got Peggy's 25, Cindy's
15 from Cindy. Who?
Sydney.
You're
I'm part of the 80.
You're part of the 80.
Okay.
Yeah,
So maybe another
Oh,
75.
maybe.
Okay.
I don't know if it's that much. Okay, because Phil's only $10. He's a senior.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, so-
So 25, 35.
Oh, there.
Okay.
Anyway, I'll have it for the meeting.
And Lynn, maybe at the end of the meeting, I can get together with you, because I'm trying to write down when people join and try to keep it up to date as far as who has joined for 2016. So I want to make sure that we agree on that, and I need to get the latest ones from you too.
This is from the meeting.
Great. Okay.
Now, if anyone here has not
And I'll
renewed,
give
I
you
have some
copies of
forms.
these the next time I see you.
Okay, great, thank you.
So I'm gonna renew and use one of the forms that I just brought.
Well, you have the forms.
I have some more forms if anyone needs them or. Okay, so, I put down on the agenda officer turnovers because I want people to start to think about if you are not going to come back as an e-board member, to make sure that when you turn over your position to the incoming person, that it's neat and tidy and it's not just like okay, good luck, see you later, you know, if you want to,
I agree with that.
yeah, okay.
We've made a lot of progress this year on that very issue. You know, in
Yes.
terms of, I mean, we started a couple years ago being a little bit more careful about that, but I think this year we've made big growth in just kind of operational things.
I think so too. We still don't have a handbook, which I talked about 3 years ago.
Yeah, but
Still
okay,
haven't
so,
done
but
that.
we've
No, I
made
haven't.
progress.
There are gonna also be some turnovers of passwords and access to things like administrator for Facebook page, administrator for our Google domain names. If you're not going to be doing the website anymore, then we're gonna have to turn over that information to somebody who's gonna keep that up.
Can you still, can do it?
Kenny hasn't said anything to me, so. We have a computer that we have used in the past for phone banking, to take to our tabling events. We were helping people get information about enrolling in, with Covered California and getting health insurance. I have the computer, it's in its little briefcase, unused,
It works.
it works. And I thought I should ask the E-Board what they think about whoever the incoming secretary is, having the computer to use for club business. What do you guys think about that?
I think that's fine with me.
That's fine with me too.
It makes sense, especially
As long
since
as
it's
that
not being
person would,
used.
if we did need it for phone
Something
banking
else,
or
we could
something
get
else,
it
that it would, they'd have
Yeah.
to bring it, it'd have to be readily
Yeah.
available. It can't be
Available.
like stuck in somebody's house and locked up or something.
I'm sure they wouldn't object.
Yeah,
Because Shana has expressed interest a couple of times now, and it sounds like she wants to be
Well,
the
let's
secretary.
jump on that.
yeah.
Yeah, so Annette Berman has gone above and beyond. She's had conversations with people, calling them, asking them if they want to take up leadership roles. We are going to go ahead with completing our charter packet, which is due January 1st, which means we're committing to spending I think it's the $100.
It's $100. So I need to bring $100
To the December,
to the December meeting.
That would be good, yes, please make a note of that.
Is that to LA County Democratic?
I will give you
Business?
the full 411 on that. And in fact, I have the packet here and I will show it to you a little bit later.
Who's Felipe? Where's, I mean?
That's Phil Geeson.
Oh,
That's his alter ego, Felipe. Okay, and also, November 20th, we have to submit the CDP pre-endorsement submission that has like the names of people who we might consider being a representative for our club to the CDP for pre-endorsements.
I thought we weren't eligible.
Well, I'm glad you say that, because you remember when Sergio was here,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm,
and we talked about that. We said, hey, we didn't do our bylaw thing.
yeah.
And he said, don't worry about it, just change your bylaws, send it in. I still have that application. And since we have amended our bylaws, all I need is a copy of that amendment, actually a copy of our bylaws.
The
Well, the
amended
whole bylaw.
bylaws, the whole,
Yeah.
I sent them to you, right?
Great,
And Stuart put them on the website now, but
Beautiful.
I can send you another copy
no, it's
if you
okay,
want.
I will
Or the
get,
one that has the additions in red.
it doesn't have to be in red, it just has to be our regular
Right, right,
bold.
that's why I think that
freshly-
the whole thing is,
Okay.
right, yeah.
What I'm gonna do is just print that out, because you have to send it, you know, you have to send the application and an electronic version to them,
So
and
we need our rep.
well, no, we don't need we have a suggestion of reps. What you do is you submit a roster,
Oh,
kind of even men, even women, and it's not set in stone. It just is our suggestion for people to go and be representatives. It could be anybody in our club.
Because we were talking about when Lisa, so because she was in the,
Yes,
In the
Eric,
district.
in the
Yes.
district of Nanette Baragan.
that's right.
Am I saying that right?
Baragan.
Okay, I did it, I kind
She
of
was
did it.
really good, I was really
She
happy.
was, yeah.
She was
Yeah.
outstanding.
I was
Technically,
impressed.
Yeah,
yeah, she's impressive.
she and Janine Pierce, wow, pretty cool.
I know we're lucky.
Technically, we said that we would be selecting the representative at a particular meeting So it's kind of hard in filling out these forms to predict
Yeah.
who's gonna get selected, so we're just putting down some likely candidates.
That's good.
Right.
When is that
That's-
due?
That November 20th.
Oh,
This
That's
is,
why I thought to myself,
16th.
okay, just put down some people that you think might do it. And I'm just gonna go ahead and read these names. Like I said, not set in stone, so don't freak out. Laurel, Dagmar, Gwen, Lisa, Shayna, Stuart, Philip, and Eddie. I picked guys, because I thought, okay, we don't have many guys. So
Or
we're gonna have to put on.
Also, it specifies that you're supposed to have an equal number
Yeah.
of
Yeah,
men
they
and
are.
women,
They're supposed to
yeah.
be equal.
oh,
So-
really?
And they need to be members in good standing.
But we're only gonna get one.
Yeah, we're only
You're
getting
gonna
one.
But we're giving them a
You
list
get
Do
later.
Yeah.
we
We don't
get to
know.
pick or do they get to pick from
The
that
e-board
list?
We
is
will
gonna
pick.
get to pick, whoever the e-board is, will get to pick, you know, even if it's not somebody that's not on the list, they can still pick, so. For every 20 guys, you get one guy that gets to go, so, yeah, that's
Okay.
good.
That's all right, thanks.
So I wanted to tell you guys about that. Sweetie's gonna go by really quick,
Adjunct duty.
That's good.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk about the club charter right now, so I'm moving along to the club charter application. Carol, take it away.
Maybe remember from doing the charter application in the past, one of the pages, one of the many pages we have to send these people is one where you list members and you sign it. It has to have your signature on it. But they stipulate that person cannot sign for more than one club. So we always have to ask people, do you recall signing a charter application for another Democratic club? Because if you've already signed, then you can't sign ours. So for now, do you have the form?
Yes.
Okay. I just put down the officers and then a couple other people. We're supposed to have 20 people on the page. So I'm assuming that none of you have dared to sign the charter application for any other club, right?
I don't
Don't think
recall.
anyone's
I
ever
don't
asked.
recall. What does it
So-
look like?
No, you
You
wouldn't have.
can,
It's that signage
You
sheet.
sign- if you don't know, you
You
did.
sign in blood or anything? I know I
okay,
didn't do
so
that.
you can go ahead and sign next to your name. You
Can I
can
mark
check
that?
your information to make sure I got it all right.
That would be-
And then I put a couple other names on there, but what we're gonna have to do at our December meeting is to just go to people and say, okay, have you signed for another club? If not, you know, and you're a member in good standing, can we put your information on here and have your signature?
Does that mean they can't qualify as a member of our club, or does it just mean they
No,
can't
they
be signing?
just, this,
They're still on
I
our roster.
think this has to do with, you know, the sending
Packing it,
representatives and
yeah.
stuff too. Yeah, they don't,
Like you can't double dip.
yeah, you
Right.
can't be a representative
Exactly.
from more than one club and, you know, so
That's a
you're
good
trying to,
idea.
Well, here's something that I thought was interesting, if you don't mind, are you done there?
go ahead, I'm done.
We don't get to pick, the CDP is picking, like, let's say Laurel says, well, I'm a member of San Pedro Dem Club, Long Beach Dem Club, Yes We Can Dem Club, and the Women's Study Group. And she signed all of them, right? And they're looking through their papers going, wow, I keep seeing Laurel Telfar. They get to pick
Which
what club, but here's how they do it. They go, which club will benefit from, which club will have like the most participation, right? So if Long Beach Dem Club has, I don't know, 300 members and Yes We Can Club's got 30,
They'll let,
yes we can.
they'll let Laurel go.
They'll
to-
let-
yeah, they'll go- send her to the biggest club, not the
That's
smallest
No,
club.
they send her to the club that needs
Needs
the
her.
people,
Needs her.
so that
Oh.
that club can have the most participation, right?
Oh.
Because if we're just like squeaking by, we only have 30 guys and you only get one person that represents
Right.
your club, if you have
Okay.
20 people,
So
that's.
if we make that mistake of having if
It's
someone
kind of-
accidentally
it's kind of
does
an
that, then
overwhelm.
it's gonna work out
People
okay.
don't remember, it's like,
Yeah.
which club did I, you know,
Yeah.
they don't
And
remember.
do they really cross-check, or is that just?
Yeah,
They
well, that's
do.
what,
They do really cross
They
check.
do.
okay, well, that's fine.
That's fine though, there's no downside for us.
Not for
You
us,
might
because
as
we're a
well,
small club.
yeah, you might as well just
I
have
just wanted
everybody
you guys
sign
to
it.
be aware of that,
Yeah,
okay? And, you know, if people ask you that question, now you know what's up.
I wouldn't even tell other people that, at our club about that.
I'd be
Just let
surprised
them
if you got
sign.
that question.
Just let them sign it.
Let 'em
and then-
sign
and then
ours.
Let them sign ours and then it'll
Yes.
all work out.
You're right,
Why confuse them?
okay, now,
My motto in general.
this is good, we're zipping right along here. You guys remember the Mo, right?
Mhm.
The
Mobilize,
Harry.
Organize, elect. Well, here's what happened, and I didn't know this. The Mo has an expiration date of December 31st, 2015. Yeah,
Even though we don't have access to it
We
yet.
don't have access yet, and a lot of clubs don't have access yet. Some clubs are just now saying, okay, yeah, I'll fill out the application, because you have to determine within your organization what level of access you want. Do you just want it because you know that you're gonna join like a caucus or canvas rather in a precinct? Do you want it because you're going to organize precinct walks? You know, there's different levels of access, okay? But I did not know that there was an expiration date of people that do have accounts right now. December 31st, 2015, it expires
For this year.
for this year. Now, the Democratic Party, California Democratic Party, assures all of the organizations and chartered clubs that they're gonna get access and pay for access, because they have to pay to use the software for 2016. They're saying, don't even worry about it, we're gonna do it, and as soon as we
Who's
do,
going to pay?
the California Democratic Party.
Okay, we don't
Actually,
have-
all of us pay for it because, you know, we,
Yeah, but we don't, as a club, have to pay
no,
something.
it's not like
Okay.
individual clubs.
Okay.
All you have to do, you, the chartered organization, club or whatever, is apply. And the application is going to say 2016 on it, and it's gonna ask you, what level of access do you need? So, we are not filling out the application for 2015, because it just makes no sense.
Right.
No.
That is something that's gonna be in my turnover as president to the next president to say, you have to have this Mo application, you
Perfect.
know, yeah. So, I need to tell you that, what else do I need to tell you?
I mean, what is like application, what does that mean? Is it just like the
I
name
will
of the
show
club
you.
and the,
No, it's,
I mean-
it's like a really specific, detailed application. It's called, here, pass this to Laura.
I mean, I'm just curious
Yeah,
why
It'll
it
be a
needs to
new
be that.
form, something different than this
It'll be
form?
just like that, I'm assuming, except it'll say 2016.
There should be a way we could do it now, maybe, and
There
Yeah, but we
isn't,
don't know what level of
there
access
isn't a way to
we
do it
need.
now. But there isn't a way to do it now because that expires, all the accounts expire on December 31st, 2015.
probably just have it ready for the.
No, there isn't.
Because the
There
new
isn't
board
an
would have to
application.
determine what level.
They're
they
going to
want.
send it to us, and they'll probably send it to this address, because this is our official address. And it'll look just like that, except it'll, you know, have a date on it, and if they make any
So here,
changes.
this is interesting, the role and responsibility of the Mo administrator. The person's named as Mo administrator should have some familiarity with databases, voter files, political field operations. 2, be an associate, at least an associate member of the LACDP per CDP MOU with LACDP.
Okay, but you know what?
I swear to God, it says that.
That is
They
not
okay?
a requirement, that is not required.
No, it
That's
says
just
should
a
have, but I'm
suggestion.
just saying, be
Yeah.
completely familiar with the terms and conditions of MOU, the MOU of the
Memorandum
MOE
of
for the
Understanding.
CDP.
Mickey Mouse.
Be a vic.
Yeah.
And be available for periodic trainings as provided by the CDP. Have
And there will
sufficient time
be
throughout the year,
updates.
particularly during the election cycle, to provide requested information. Okay, fine. I'm just saying, it's kind of a big deal.
It is a
I
big
mean, a
deal.
bigger deal than I thought.
Well, it's
you know,
bigger than, you guys,
It's
remember when we,
sophisticated software and they don't want to just turn it over to
Right.
anyone.
You know,
Right.
with Van or Boat Builder, when I had access to that, it's, you can get all kinds of information. I mean, it's very sensitive. They say it's public, but getting access to it, I mean, you can find out, at least from the NAS database, likely voters, that's the basic target. But you can find out who voted, when they voted, did they vote in the primary, and it goes back, I think, 8 or 10 years. Did they vote in the general election? Did they vote by mail?
that's
Did they
just the
vote-
van.
Yeah.
Okay, the
Yeah.
Mo is even more,
Well, I mean, we
Intense.
had Van for a lot of our
Yes.
calling. I remember there was
Yeah,
a
that was through OFA.
boatload of
That was
information.
through a fake.
There were OFA.
Yeah, but still.
Similar idea, you know, just, this is just a big
different
deal. I mean,
bit.
just
This
more-
is
more
California,
sophisticated,
right?
yeah.
yes, this is just California,
Just
it's just for
technology
the
keeps
California
moving.
Democratic Party too. It's not like the Republicans have access to the same software.
God, thank God. Really Ted
But
Cruz
man,
is
You know,
president.
somebody's gonna make software to sell to them too. It's not,
Yeah, they have their own.
they're gonna have their own.
There were a lot of.
Well, no, they've got their own, yeah. They have more money.
They
to
have more
it.
money than we do, so I'm not worried about
I
them.
want the cookies
They're good.
passed to me
Oh,
because I feel
cookies.
like. I say Ted Cruz and I need cookies.
Okay, so
think we're
that's
giving
that's
this
it.
back.
That's all I wanted to say about the
Okay.
month.
Look at that cute thing. What are these?
So it's 7:06.
I think we got pumpkins.
And we're already at the 7:30 part of the meeting, so does anybody have anything they want to add to the business or report or action part of our meeting?
No, I have a question.
Yes.
about- These are good.
I'm glad you
I
like
never have
that.
stuff like this. But when you
Really,
say
it was
when
like-
you say Ted Cruz
I
for
gotta tell
president,
you,
I have to
I'm a
eat it.
Fresh and Easy fan, as you guys all know, and I really was heartbroken that my store
Yeah.
is gone.
Yes,
on,
it
yeah.
is.
So
It
I
is,
went in
yeah.
there and spent like $100. I bought like all this wine and
They're owned
Whatever you-
by an English
You should try,
company.
you
I
like
read
just a
about
cat, these
yeah,
are
8 months
really
ago
good.
that they were
Just try it.
closing all of them,
Just
that
try
they
it.
actually were losing money. They
Yeah.
thought that they
who
could
else has
compete
organic
with
pumpkin
Trader
cake?
Joe's
Mm.
and it just.
I don't
it
know,
didn't
but
work
they're
out.
expensive to find it.
Look at, and what are those? Are those from Babette's?
Raspberry chocolate.
Oh,
Do you
thank
enjoy
you.
that?
Oh, beautiful.
Okay, so
All right, yes, I have a question.
I was giving you some portion, a little bit of time so that you can chew.
Right, thank you. Okay, I love that. I love that.
You can't buy them because there's no more Fresh and Easy, they're all gone.
Yeah, but there's more water. There's more water though.
They have the best guacamole, store-bought guacamole of anybody,
Really?
Oh yeah.
I like their pico.
I haven't made
de gallo,
guacamole for like 6 years, you guys.
Yeah, but because you've been eating Fresh and Easy. All right, so I just want to know the process of how it's going to work at our meeting for the nomination. So you're gonna, when you're ready and you have it all together, are you gonna present a slate with nominations from the floor, or are we gonna put it out ahead of time? Or, I mean, I still know what,
I'm gonna put it out ahead of time.
okay.
I'm gonna say
step by
these
step.
are, you know how I send out a thing that says, hey, the general meeting's coming up, and
Right.
that's when I'm gonna say, here's our slate so far.
So the date would be around when? Mid-December we're talking about? You're talking about when? About, would you be doing that?
End of this month,
End of this month?
because I
And
want,
that's in 14 days.
in December, when we have our
Right.
holiday party / meeting, that people that come to the meeting will already know who's on the slate
There might be 50
so
cups.
far, right? Because I want them to talk about it. Once they see the person, they might think, I might want to do that. You know, it's just a kind of
I mean, how they're
inspires.
dressed or what? What do you mean, see the person?
See their name. that was
See their
the
name,
Oh,
see
put
their
name,
face.
put the, oh,
Yeah,
their name.
Like at the Christmas party.
yeah. I think that's
That's
kind
at
of
the
a
end
when
of
is
friendly.
the
December, or when is the
Christmas
Christmas party? We don't know.
I'll
Sometime in
get to
December.
that in a minute,
Sometime in
because that's the
December.
next thing on the
December
agenda.
5th, I know.
So at the end of November, you'll send out some kind of an email to all of our
I'll send our
members.
normal invitation to come to the general meeting on December 5th.
And here's who's on the slate so far.
So far, remind people that you can nominate people from the floor right up to the meeting itself in January when we do the election.
It's a crazy way to do it. Imagine who.
That's the way it is in the
Oh,
bylaws,
I
though.
know,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it is kind of a weird thing. I mean.
It is,
Oh,
but
it's
you know
nice.
what?
No, what is weird?
Like
Starts at
from the
2.
floor on January 3rd, or
No,
whatever day
it's
our
a
meeting
good- It's a
is.
good thing because it ensures a democratic process.
But I'm just saying, I mean, who would want to have Stuart just like all of a sudden on January 3rd, like his name goes up and he's the new president? I
You
mean,
know,
it
I'll
just
tell you why.
seems like it should be more like you need, I don't know.
I'll tell you
But I
why.
think you
It's kind of
can,
short term.
I think you can nominate
You can.
from
It's,
the.
Nominate from the
it's
floor.
legal, I
Yeah.
understand, I just think
Yeah.
it's an odd way to do that. Like Chris Robeson could be aced out by a Stewart, just walks right in one day.
Hey, you know what?
And- yeah, that
Here's what
happens.
I was gonna say, is that I
Well,
think it's a
that's
good
true.
thing, because maybe somebody's gotta go, I can do this, I think I wanna do this, and they're waiting to see who else is running, and if they think, nobody's gonna run against this guy, I'll do it, and they go ahead and do it. I mean, that might be just something that other
I
people
think
are gonna
that
go,
Dee Dee may want to run against Shayna.
Well,
I
remember
mean,
what
she really
happened the
didn't wanna
last
give it
time?
up,
I know.
Yeah.
you know, so,
Yeah,
yes.
so,
And she-
Okay, well,
like
that's
this
good
now
news.
leads us into, where's it been right along here?
Oh, so she didn't go to the e-board meetings before?
She did.
She did, but they were so
But,
haphazard.
A
The
little-
e-board meeting before was just the first half hour before the regular meeting.
Oh, that's right.
So it was no.
But she did come to, when we separated them, she
Yeah,
also came
for a
to-
couple of them, she
No,
did
that
come.
was right, she did.
But she didn't like that.
But I have to say, I mean, everybody gets to do what they want to do, but I do think, listen, I want to just make a little proclamation here.
Please, go
Number
ahead.
one, while you were reading this, we value people's opinion and stuff that you put on there, and you've read it every time, see, to me, this is good stuff. Because really, I do think it makes a difference in our club meetings and maybe even with us. And so I really appreciate your sticking to that this year, Maria. And I mean, this is the kind of thing, you know, I'm back into the whole work thing again. And we're talking about, why did I do this? Anyway, we're talking a lot about norms and setting norms with groups, and the research is really, really clear that if you do not have norms, even with people you know and love, whatever, if you don't have norms and state them, and you can zip through some of them, you don't have to discuss them and massage them to death, but that the meetings often fall apart, and that when you have norms and you stick with it, and that's what this is, in a way. So anyway, I really appreciate that. Number two, I think as much as I haven't wanted to go to 2 meetings a month, I think that us talking about this, each time we've gone to our regular meeting, we're just much more together about
Prepared.
stuff.
Yes.
And I feel like
Yeah.
the processes and procedures of our club have been refined and defined as a result of us having that second meeting. So, I mean, again, the new people can do whatever they want, but, you know, I think that needs to be a strong recommendation.
Yes.
More than once after a general meeting, I've had people come up to me and say, this meeting was so well planned and organized and run so smoothly.
Me
And
too.
I love it that so many people participated. We've gotten,
Yes.
you've gotten remarks as well.
Yes.
People compliment us just on
Right.
how well the meeting is run.
And a lot of it is because we've been
gratifying.
committed, but I also think that we've just been better informed. And I mean, I know for myself that when I've come, as much, you know, I grumble occasionally because I have to leave and all that, but it's usually, you've done a good job of keeping it on time. Really, Maria, you've done a good job,
Thank you.
honestly.
Yes, indeed.
And I
See,
think
did you hear that?
Yes, yes.
Video?
And the other key thing is that we have been breaking up into groups. It's not the e-board talking to everybody,
Right.
this is it. It's much more breaking up into groups, and I think
Interactive.
that needs to be continued.
I agree.
think both of those things, having separate e-board meetings, because you can't talk about some of these sensitive things right in the middle in front of everybody.
can't do
it.
This is sensitive, this is
Yes.
like management. You don't
It
have
is like
that.
management, you're absolutely right,
It is
Cindy.
not to be discussed in
I
front of
wish
everybody
Phil
else.
was here. Phil, I miss you. I wish you were here. I'm gonna just, since we're kind of, we have a little bit of time here, I want to tell, I'm gonna get all choked up. Oh, I totally appreciate the time that you guys have put into this club and the support that I've received as president of this club, because, you know, being a president and following like the rules and stuff is not my strong point. I'm an activist, you know, it's been difficult, and I've really needed each and every one of you to help. And this has been a tough year for me, as you know, with my mom passing away. It's been really hard. And I feel like I've got nothing but support from each and every one of you. And you too, Phil. So I thank you. And I really hope that the next e-board, the next president, continues this inclusive and appreciative way of running this club. This club is really special. It's really not like the other Democratic clubs.
Right.
And I don't mean that to disparage the other clubs. I just really think that this club has a very, you know, close-knit and heartfelt desire to do good for others. And I think that all of us, when we go home at the end of the day after being at a Yes We Can meeting or event, we can feel good about we are participating in the community and we're making the world a better place.
Right.
So, thank you.
Yeah, no, but
Thank
you
you.
know, and I also, last thing I just want to say about that, I know, remember last year when you were talking about, I think I can do this, well, a year later, you have done it. And you've done it well, and I've seen you grow. you know?
Thank you.
I mean, I think the rest of us have as well.
Thank you, Laurel.
And I'm not just BSing here. So anyway, I wanted to say that, and I didn't plan it. I didn't come in thinking I was going to say that, but now I felt like I had to, so now we can move ahead.
I think this is a good segue into the holiday party. Laurel has graciously offered her home for us to have the holiday party on
It's called,
December
it's December.
5th.
Now, you remember Ted Kaczynski and the cabin he had?
Oh, in the cabin,
And the
yeah.
what?
Okay.
Cabin he had?
Yes.
Yeah.
So just think of yourself being in the holiday party in Ted Kaczynski's house when there are about 30 people in the house. Okay, just so you know. But I've done it. I mean, my buffet, I've had 25 to 30 people a number of times, and we just circulate around. I have a little traffic pattern that we can do. Should work out fine. So, but I mean, well, let's talk about some details because I do have a couple of things. That's all.
Thing. Do you guys, what other things should I get? I mean, we should have a
Meatball,
veggie plate.
listen.
You notice there's no
Oh, the
veggies.
meatballs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We don't need
listen,
to
Chris
report on this,
Robson and his meatballs are remarkable. He goes to Trader Joe's and he gets and he dolls them up. They are delicious.